That's
Probably.
that's the kind of thing Gettleman will do. And he's going to go to Eli and say, take a discount, we'll keep you. If you don't take less than $8 million a year, we're going to trade you. That's because Gettleman gives zero fucks.
Gettleman is the wild card in the idea
and
of
the Giants
craziness
do need
happening in the
some real moves.
And I'm telling you right
they're
now,
going to take advantage of the defense they have.
I don't want to.
There's
I would
no
like
way
to retain OBJ if we can.
There's no way the Giants finish the season with Jason Pierre-Paul and Olivier Vernon on the same team. There's
but
no
we'll
way.
probably get rid of JPP.
Probably.
I would keep Vernon.
There's no way both of those players are on the Giants.
But the thing is, we can keep Vernon because his Snacks should be there.
Snacks. Well, they were stupid for getting rid of Harris, just letting him go to the
I know.
to the damn Colts.
Listen, I'm not happy about that. But then again, Harris's life is now more depressing because he plays in Indianapolis.
Yeah. Yep.
And they suck at everything.
How come you didn't do it incognito?
Oh, there were a lot of... Actually, the Giants' entire offensive line are free agents, except for Eric Flowers. Weston Richburg, DJ Fluker.
Pretty sure they're all
Justin Pugh.
replaceable.
No, Weston Richburg was pretty good.
Richburg will probably be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. DJ Fluker will probably be back.
Yeah, they'll sign Pugh if they can get a contract.
Oh, he's only making like $900,000 now.
Yeah, and I don't think Pugh will leave. I don't think he wants to leave.
No, he's...
I mean, offensive linemen tend to... As long as they're good enough to stay where they are, they will, just because they're creatures of habit. They don't want to uproot their family all the time.
Right.
They're not divas like, a lot of position players.
Like Odell Beckham.
Oh, yeah, but whatever.
No, I honestly see Dave Gettleman going to Odell Beckham saying, you want $17 million a year, we'll give you 12. If you don't take it, we're going to ship your ass to Los Angeles. You're playing for the Rams.
That wouldn't be bad for him.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, that sounds like he wants to.
He would be playing with a resurrected Sammy Watkins, a resurrected Woods, and he would be the number one wide receiver. What? I would trade him to Cleveland and get the 1-2 pick and get Barkley and Rosen.
Send him to Cleveland if you want to.
I would take Barkley and Rosen. If I
were him, I'd be like, okay, trade me to the Rams. I want to win a Super Bowl.
Okay. I don't think he'd like playing for the Rams because he wouldn't be the only option on that team.
Do you know how big his ego is? And you're going to tell him, I'm going to trade you to fucking Los Angeles? He would go crazier than pig and shit. He'd be like, dude, I'll pack my bags now. Can I sign?
They're not going to pay him the money he wants.
I don't think he would care. He lives in L.A. now. He could do movies.
Oh,
no.
No,
that asshole would do them.
No, he wants to be in New York because you get more endorsement, you get better media treatment.
No, but in L.A. he could be the next Shazam.
L.A. would embrace him like crazy. Shazam.
Yeah, that's the kind of movie he would put out, and L.A. would bite at it.
I would say Kazam.
the Marine 12, starring Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to have to believe that the 12 Horsemen would have had a guy with dyed blonde hair.
The reason
stick out in Afghanistan.
The reason I say Los Angeles, the Rams, is because the obvious trade is Beckham for Donald.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Or maybe
Donald doesn't want to be there.
Or we're trading you to Los Angeles. You're a Charger. We got Joey Bosa.
Fine. I will take that. Bring in Joey Bosa. Guess what? He's got more fingers than you. You're out, JPP.
You're out, JPP. Well, no, because Bosa is kind of like DeMarcus Ware. He can play D-end and linebacker. Just put him at linebacker. Get rid of Mark Hurlitz. And I'm sorry, you know your whole cancer thing, but it's a business.
Move him around.
Yeah.
Whatever. Fine. Goodbye.
All right.
I'd be fine with that, but I'd also take, hey, Cleveland, do you want him? You can have him and Josh Gordon. I just want your first overall pick. Let's be honest, you were going to screw it up anyway. And you've got the 4th, so you can get some kind of idea of how it's supposed to go.
All right. Now,
hasn't worked for you in the past.
Last thing before we get to our big finish.
You're going to light up some fucking fireworks?
Nope. If you're the general manager of your favorite team, what is the one thing that you do to make your team better for next year?
Offensive line.
So draft, free agency, what would it be?
All of it.
Okay.
Listen, get what you can at the pick that we have. You're obviously not going to draft an offensive lineman with the second overall pick. That's backfired too many times. Not to mention this isn't a great draft for offensive linemen.
Oh, it is. It's just not top heavy.
Well, yeah, it's deeper, but it's not going. It's not like that. There's only a few at the top that are like eye-opening talent at their positions.
Right, and one of them's from Central Michigan.
Well, yeah, the center from Ohio State's actually really good too.
Yeah,
but I take what you can at the top, make a splash. If you can get something and make something crazy and do something crazy in the draft, give a reason for excitement. But the one thing you do one way or another, whether it's absorbing most of your mid to late round picks on O linemen and just seeing what you can get out of them.
Just get 6 of them.
Figure it out.
Just draft a quarterback and 6 linemen. And one's got to work.
Figure it out.
All right.
That's got to be the correction.
Dan O'Shea. One move you make this offseason.
Sorry. Eli Apple's got to go. I know you went to Ohio State, but you couldn't guard a fucking 12-year-old girl.
I said this when he got drafted. Someone told him you're the third best Eli on this team, and there's only 2 of you.
Yeah, he needs to go.
Dan O'Shea, one move to make this offseason that'll make your team better next year. You're the general manager.
I'm thinking of a couple, but the obvious answer is quarterback.
Draft, free agency.
Whatever gets your best bet. If you can't get Cousins, I like getting one of the less crazy free agents possibly and drafting. The less obvious answer is pass rush. Probably not first round, probably second or third round.
Mo Wilkerson's not going to be on the team next year.
Probably
after the whole year.
Yeah, he's definitely taking a step back. But our run stopping is fine, but we cannot hit an opposing quarterback.
It doesn't look like they can't. It looks like they won't.
No, it's just a lack of a pass rush completely. We haven't had a pass rush in like 5 years.
It's like anytime they get even close to the quarterback, they're just like confused with what they're doing.
Yeah. So that would be the second answer. I think we're fine with our receivers. We got a young, good receiving core. Although Anderson,
what a dipshit.
Yeah, that was a real bad idea.
Jermaine
Silver
Kearse
lining might make him cheaper going forward.
But I mean, how
Kearse
are you going to
average.
pull
I
all
don't
of that
think
and
Kearse
not
is
be
anything
drunk?
great. I don't know.
Like, you get arrested for all of that shit and
I'm
you
flaming
weren't even
right
intoxicated. Now. Like, come on, man. What you mean to tell me you did all that sober?
Everyone.
You're not the best decision maker.
I know that's familiar with Florida. Heard that town, which is where he's from, and they were like, "Oh, that makes sense." So, so I guess that's your answer.
So quarterback. What about you, Dan Beebe? One move that you make that'll fix or at least improve your team next season.
Quarterback draft.
Draft a quarterback.
Or you try and trade for Nick Foles.
No.
Nick Foles could start somewhere easily next year.
The Eagles aren't going to get rid of him.
He's only owed $4 million next year.
The Eagles aren't going to get rid of him. Carson Wentz has even said, based on the doctor's projections, he might miss the first 4 weeks of the regular season.
He's a fucking liar.
When he comes back, though,
I would
Nick
trade
Foles. Him. That stock is so high. If I were the Eagles,
especially if they go 3-1 to start the next season.
Yeah, and watch one of these big contenders, have a quarterback with some injury issues. If I were the Eagles, I would be paying a lot of attention to what the Vikings do, because that might be your trade partner. If they go with Bridgewater, injury concerns. Bradford,
the fucking irony of that.
They're gonna rob them again. Rob them blind. Dan Beebe, you said quarterback. You said quarterback. You said offensive line. Mine is like an exact scenario. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I approach the Chicago Bears and say, we want to package our 19th pick and Des Bryant for your 8th pick. And then draft Calvin Ridley. Let Terrence Williams be your number 1 receiver. He's been more productive than Des Bryant lately. I don't think he necessarily wants to be the number 1 receiver, But if Calvin Ridley progresses the way he should, by the end of the season, Calvin Ridley will be your number one receiver anyways.
That'd be a good move to make.
Or, this may be a little crazier, ship Des Bryant, the 19th pick, to the Colts and draft Minkah Fitzpatrick.
What pick do the Colts have?
3.
I wouldn't make that trade if I were the Colts.
I would. Get Andrew Luck / Jacoby Brissett a legitimate threat.
When's Andrew Luck going to play?
Yeah,
That's why I said / Jacoby Brissett.
Way bigger concerns than
that whole receiver. Thing is a rickety machine that's barely still moving forward. In Indianapolis.
It just fell apart, and now they're trying.
Yeah, I know, but they're like it's puttering around, and it's like pick that up, put it back on.
I want to ask you this question again, Dan O'Shea. If I'm the Colts, do I consider trading Andrew Luck? Because at the beginning of the season, you said absolutely not.
Yeah,
the Redskins.
He's at his lowest possible value. I don't think it's you don't. If you want to sell low and take the loss, then you can. I would, if you don't like him, I would get him back out there, have him show what he can do, and then sell a little higher on him.
Redskins, give us your pick. We'll take it. If it was your first round pick, you can have him. Because you're losing Cousins. Who's going to be your quarterback? Get the guy that you should have got in the draft anyways.
True. Maybe. I think you'd get more, but that's just me. And obviously the other Jets need is O-line as well.
Yeah.
Similar to the Giants in that respect.
Tony, you're a Giants fan. This is going to be the last question I get to before WTF and then finish it with the fact. With Pat Shurmur as the new Giants head coach, what would you consider his first season to be a success? Does it have to be playoffs? Does it have to be win a playoff game? What would make this season a success for the Giants? I have a specific answer that I tweeted, and people seem to think it was a good answer. I want to hear what you think.
At the very least, being in playoff contention. I expect us to be in the mix, if not there, every year. Period.
Okay.
What happens if they lose Eli?
I mean,
your expectations.
Expectations have to be curved based on the talent that's available.
Okay, we're gonna just go.
You can't expect if it also it depends on what happens coming in the draft and free agency specifically.
They draft Josh Rosen, don't right,
but that's not what I'm talking about. Because what happens in the next couple of months will shift what they intend on doing. It will show their intentions. Are you trying and scrap and rebuild towards what is going to be the actual system we're using? Or are you actually using what's here right now to try and make a push? Because those are two very different scenarios and two very different roads to go down. Mm-hmm. And that changes what my expectation of the team will be going into the season.
Okay, so the only difference is new head coach, draft affects nothing. There's no change in philosophy.
Right, but okay, so the philosophy is we have the team that we have now.
Philosophy is we still have Eli Manning, we're going to rock with Eli.
Okay, then
Odell Beckham is healthy.
Win now.
It's playoff contention, and at the very least, you need to be contending. Obviously, this, in my opinion, is one of the hardest divisions in football.
I agree.
Because of what is stacked against you. I expect next year that the Redskins are going to be dog shit. Because that's the way they're heading. That's their trend.
I kind of expect that as well.
Getting Ezekiel Elliott back, so you don't get that benefit of the doubt that he's not going to be playing. Philadelphia is clearly flying high right now, and they don't have any reason to think that they're going to go anywhere. So you've got to be at least in contention because that's what's expected of you. I can understand, being that it's a new head coach and a new system, you may not make the playoffs. I can wrap my head around that, but you better be in there. In the hunt towards the end of the season. But I expect that we are going to be looking for the playoffs every year.
Okay, so then flip the script. Eli asked to be traded. They trade Eli, get a pick, whatever, and they're going to rock with Davis Webb or some other free agent while Josh Rosen or whoever it is groomed. No Eli, and they didn't upgrade the offensive line.
Show me promise. 500 or better.
Okay. Anyone else want to answer this question?
I don't necessarily think you're asking for 500 or better if they go.
That's tough to ask for in the division.
I think you ask for development, cohesion with the offensive line, and